Once upon a time, in a quiet village, nestled between rolling hills and sparkling waters, lived a boy named Luka. Now Luka was a kind and strong young man. His heart was as big as the sun, and his days were filled with helping others. But despite all the good in his life, a shadow of sadness lingered in his heart. One evening, Luka sat by the river that flowed through the village. The gentle lapping of water against the bank echoed the turmoil in his soul. "I want more," he whispered to the flowing water. "More money, more love, more everything." The river seemed to listen patiently, its surface rippling slightly as if in contemplation. Just then, an old willow tree by the riverbank rustled its leaves as if in response. "Why do you seek more, young one? Don't you see the beauty that surrounds you?" Luka turned to the tree. "I do, wise tree. But my heart still feels empty. I want to be happy, truly happy." The willow tree stood silent for a moment, its branches swaying gently in the evening breeze. "Happiness, young one, is a journey, not a destination. It is not something you find out there in the distance. It is here, in the here and now." Though Luka didn't understand the tree's words, he knew he couldn't find peace in the village. So he decided to set out and find the key to happiness. And with a heavy heart and determined steps, Luka left his village. He first found work in a bustling city. Tall buildings scraped the sky, and the streets thrummed with activity. Luka earned gold coins, enough to buy fine clothes and a tall house with glass windows overlooking the city. People called him successful, and yet at night, in the quiet of his big house, he felt cold and alone. "This is not happiness," he sighed, staring at the distant city lights. Then he heard about a grand celebration by the sea, so he sailed across the water, where he danced at lively parties, rode camels in the desert, and one night, under a sky full of stars, he even met his future wife, a beautiful girl he would never forget. But one morning, he woke up feeling as empty as the waves that crashed into the shore. "Why do I still feel this way?" he cried, sitting by the river. "I have everything I ever wanted. Everything." A wise man who had been watching Luka from afar approached him. "You have everything, yet you feel empty inside. Why is that, young one?" Luka looked up, wiping his tears. "I don't know," he said, his voice hoarse with sadness. "I thought happiness would feel different. I thought it would fill the emptiness inside me. But it's still there." The wise man placed a hand on Luka's shoulder. "Happiness is not a thing you can find or buy," he said, his voice deep and calming. "It is a state of being. It is in the joy of a new day, the warmth of the sun on your skin, the laughter of children at play." Years passed. Luka grew a beard and many thoughts, yet his heart remained heavy. One day, tired and weary, he returned to his village. The trees by the river seemed to whisper his name. The air smelled like home, and in the garden by the temple, an old woman named Mira was planting flowers. People said she smiled even in storms. One day, as Luka sat beside her, he asked, "Why are you so happy? You have nothing?" Mira looked up and laughed gently. "Oh child, I have everything." Luka sat beside her, his heart aching with longing. "I chased happiness around the world," he said, "but it always ran faster." Mira's eyes twinkled with wisdom. "Perhaps you were chasing the wrong thing, young one. Happiness is not something you chase. It is something you cultivate. It is in the little things, the flowers you plant, the seeds you sow, the kindness you share." And so Luka stayed in the village, helping the people and spending time in nature. Slowly, his heart began to heal. He started noticing the small wonders around him, the sweet scent of blooming flowers, the chirping of birds, the smiling faces of children. And as the years went by, he found a deep sense of contentment within himself. For he realized that happiness is not a destination, but a way of living. It is not about having everything, but appreciating what you have. It is in the giving, the loving, the growing, and most importantly, the stillness. Stillness to appreciate the beauty of life in every moment.